Do you ever listen to what other people are saying about you? How they admire you, how they so wish that they had your grace, your eloquence, your confidence, your badassery, your vibrancy, and something inside you shrinks just a little bit because you're thinking, oh my God, I don't know who this woman is that they're talking about, but that's definitely not how I'm experiencing myself. So, oh, let's go find a label for this. And then maybe that will make sense of all of this. And I will walk around with my little label throughout life, hoping and wishing that one day I will feel the way that everybody experiences me. Well, I'm going to have a conversation with you today so you can finally understand what this is and you can create a brand new experience for yourself. Hey, my name is Al Nash. If we've not met before, I work with ambitious women who are ready to have a life that feels as rich on the inside as what it looks on the outside. So if that is you, then let's connect and have a conversation. I remember the first time that I watched a dance performance. Gosh, I was about 5 years old. And like most little girls, watching Margot Fontaine at the time, I just thought, oh, she must weigh the amount of a feather. She is so graceful, so elegant. She just floats across the stage and makes everything look so easy. I want to be like Margot Fontaine. And it wasn't long before I found myself in my very first ballet class with my pink little slippers on and my tight little pink leotard and those little see-through pink skirts that we used to wear and doing my very first pliés. And I thought, oh, this feels really awkward and really hard. But okay, anything to feel like Margot. And as the years progressed and I became more and more practiced, I kept thinking, when am I going to feel like Margot? When am I going to be that graceful? And it was with fascination as I got older that the dance halls became a little grander and I found myself with mirrors floor to ceiling in front of me and having this almost out of body experience of watching the girl in the mirror looking elegant, just floating, just moving gracefully, and really beautiful. And then having this experience in my body of movements feeling jarring and stretched and painful and just awkward. And I never realized that this was just a representation, quite frankly, of what life is experienced as by us women. There is a difference in the observation of a woman and the experience of a woman within herself. The observation of the woman is that which everybody gets to see. It is the true expression of your essence as a woman. But our experience is the practice of ourselves as that woman. So, regardless of how we express ourselves, regardless of how other people perceive us, they see us on the stage of life. They see us in how we show up in this life, but they can never experience what it feels like in the daily practice of ourselves. And so we tend to make ourselves wrong and we start labeling this distortion or this disconnect between what we see and what we feel. And we give it all weird types of meanings of what does this mean about us? Or how do we make sense of this? One of the lovely things about the feminine is that she doesn't need to make sense of things. That's pure masculine, darling. The feminine is about the experience of things. The feminine is about the practice of things. And a lot of the times, the magic of the feminine experience comes from the fact that it can't be explained. You see, the magic of the true human experience, when we start self-creating as the artist and the art, is that there is no logical sense to us. We are complete sovereign beings who choose our experience for ourselves. to the point where a lot of the times I will have an extraordinary experience and I will be so excited about it and so happy about it, even though on the outside, what is expressed by life is the contrast which has birthed the experience inside of me. And so people will think I'm nuts. People will think that this doesn't make sense. Why is she having such a good time when, quite frankly, things don't look the way that we think it should look in order for somebody to be happy? Have you noticed that in society? In society, we seem to have created these little tick boxes of what life should look like in order for us to be happy and fulfilled. And if somebody lives a life that doesn't tick the boxes, we assume that they are struggling. We assume that they are unhappy. We assume that they're having a miserable life experience. But for the most part, those people don't have your tick boxes, darling. They don't care about your tick boxes, and they're having a grand experience of life. They're having an experience of being deeply connected to life. They're having an experience of not having to prove themselves to the tribe. And so there is a lightness in their experience. And people will look at them and go, this doesn't make sense. And this is why. The feminine is the being, the masculine is the doing. So when we are doing and people see our expression, that is how they experience us. But it's the being, the feminine self, that is how we experience ourselves and our lives and ourselves in our lives. So for you to have a rich experience, you have to get out of your head and actually start getting into the body, the feeling of life. And then we start bringing in the head and start saying, okay, well, I am going to use my mind in the realm of the imagination to create the next thing. I am going to use my mind in the realm of creation to understand what the desire is that was born out of the contrast and focus on the desire rather than the contrast. And I'm going to start having a great experience of myself by telling a new story of who I am and how I get to experience my life. This is one of the greatest gifts of the understanding of feminine and masculine components in life. When we start understanding that, yes, we can do and we can do in a way that astounds, but if we don't feel the astounding, then we won't have that experience. And quite frankly, who cares what it looks like to other people? Who cares if we are actually impressing the pants out of everybody else whilst we are having a horrid experience of ourselves? This is where distortion comes in. This is where people start feeling that they're hypocrites, that they are imposters, that they're not living the life that other people are telling them they're living, because they're more focused on rehearsing in a way that impresses everybody else instead of practicing in a way that feels really good to them. So the next time that people come to you and say, oh my goodness, I so wish I was like you, listen to how they are experiencing you. Instead of just negating it, ask yourself, how do I adapt my practice to feel the way that they're experiencing me, rather than to feel as though I'm the ugly duckling when everybody else sees me as a swan? I really hope that this video inspires you to come more inwards and to understand that you're not an imposter, darling. There's nothing to explain about the experience. It is an experience to be had and then to choose your next experience for yourself. Now, if this is something that you would like some support in, I highly recommend you have a look at Women Reimagined. I cannot even begin to tell you the incredible transformation that the women are having in this space. We run this program 3 times a year. So at the time of this video, you might be lucky and enrollment is open. And if not, get on the wait list, get into this space. I think one of the most beautiful ways that it was expressed to me by one of our current ladies is that She looks at herself from even 8 weeks ago and she doesn't recognize the woman that she was. And she never wants to be her again because her entire life experience now is one of joy and ease and fun and flow. In 8 weeks, did her external environment change overnight and everything's? No, but her experience of herself in her life has completely transformed. And so we both know that her external life will start adapting to that, will start transforming from that. But she now has the patience to let life unfold in divine timing because she's not stuck in fear that this is how life is going to be for all of eternity. So if you're a woman who's ready to let go of the focus of changing your circumstances and start bringing the focus on changing your experience of yourself first and foremost, and then of life, then Women Reimagined definitely is the right place for you. And if not, that's all good as well. But let me know in the comments, how do you make sense of the discrepancy between what people tell you, how they're experiencing you, and how you are experiencing yourself? And what can you start changing after this conversation? After all, darling, you are the artist and the art. It's time to make your life experience a masterpiece.